ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to explore a phenomenon many of us witness, perhaps within ourselves or among those we care deeply for, the tendency of a woman to overthink. This is not merely a passing characteristic or a trivial personality trait. It is a reflection of something profound, something rooted in the intricate and multifaceted nature of human existence. The intricate nature of the female mind is a marvel shaped by countless influences, including biology, evolution, culture, and personal experience. It is not merely a product of individual thought processes, but a reflection of centuries of adaptation and survival. Women across time and space have carried unique responsibilities, often requiring heightened social awareness, emotional sensitivity, and a capacity for nuanced decision-making. These traits, deeply embedded in the female psyche, contribute to the complexity we observe today. Biologically, the female brain is wired for multifaceted thinking. Studies have shown greater connectivity between the hemispheres of the brain in women, enabling a more integrated approach to processing emotions, logic, and intuition. This connectivity fosters the ability to perceive patterns, anticipate outcomes, and empathize deeply with others. It is a gift, enabling women to navigate intricate social landscapes and make decisions that balance immediate needs with long-term consequences. However, this very strength can sometimes lead to overanalyzing situations, a double-edged sword that demands careful navigation. Evolutionarily, women's roles have historically centered around caregiving, community building, and ensuring the survival of the next generation. These roles required a heightened capacity to read subtle social cues, anticipate danger, and solve problems preemptively. The ability to consider multiple possibilities, weigh risks, and plan meticulously was not just advantageous, it was essential. This evolutionary heritage remains a part of the modern female experience, influencing how women approach relationships, work, and personal challenges. Culturally, societal expectations have added layers of complexity to the female mind. From a young age, women are often conditioned to be attuned to the needs of others, to strive for perfection, and to juggle multiple roles seamlessly. These expectations, while fostering resilience and adaptability, also create internal pressures. The desire to meet external standards, combined with an inherent drive for self-improvement, often fuels the habit of overthinking. Women may find themselves caught in a web of thoughts, analyzing every decision, revisiting conversations, and questioning their own worth. Personal experience further shapes the intricacy of a woman's thoughts. Each woman's journey is marked by unique challenges, triumphs, and relationships, all of which leave an indelible mark on her psyche. The accumulation of experiences, both positive and negative, contributes to a rich inner world that is constantly evolving. This dynamic interplay of memory, emotion, and reflection is a testament to the adaptability and depth of the female mind. The complexity of the female mind is not a flaw to be fixed, but a strength to be celebrated. It represents the ability to think deeply, feel profoundly, and connect meaningfully with others. It is a tapestry woven from countless threads, each representing a facet of the human experience. This intricate design, while sometimes overwhelming, is also what makes the female mind such a powerful force in shaping families, communities, and societies. Understanding and appreciating this complexity is essential, not only for women themselves, but for everyone who seeks to support and uplift them in their journeys. Overthinking, while often seen as a tool for problem solving, can evolve into a heavy burden that weighs down the mind and disrupts daily life. For many women, this mental pattern becomes a constant companion and incessant internal dialogue that replays every decision, conversation, and action, searching for deeper meaning or hidden consequences. What begins as a desire to make informed, thoughtful choices can quickly spiral into an overwhelming cycle of doubt, anxiety, and indecision. At its core, overthinking is an attempt to anticipate outcomes and avoid potential mistakes. The mind becomes fixated on every possible scenario, considering all angles, evaluating risks, and weighing consequences. This hypervigilance may be a product of an evolutionary drive to protect and care for others. Women historically have had to navigate complex social dynamics, often balancing family, work, and relationships, all while anticipating challenges and minimizing risks. This instinct to preemptively address problems to ensure nothing is overlooked can be a powerful tool. Yet when pushed to extremes, this very trait becomes a trap. Overthinking is often driven by the fear of failure. The fear of making the wrong choice, saying the wrong thing, or missing an opportunity can lead to an obsessive internal dialogue that leaves little room for action. The mind can become so consumed with what-ifs that it becomes paralyzed. This paralysis is not a sign of weakness, but rather the consequence of a mind that is overwhelmed by too many possibilities. The desire for certainty in an uncertain world becomes a form of mental entrapment, a cycle where no decision feels final or satisfactory. Overthinking is frequently fueled by an underlying sense of perfectionism. The pressure to meet high standards, whether set by oneself or society, can lead to constant reevaluation of choices and behaviors. This mental recalibration often leads to frustration and self-doubt, as no matter how much time and energy is invested in thinking through a problem, the outcome never feels guaranteed. The need to achieve perfection in every aspect of life, from personal relationships to professional accomplishments, intensifies the mental load, making it increasingly difficult to settle on any one course of action. Compounding this burden is the tendency to internalize external pressures. Women, more so than men in many cultures, are often expected to be emotionally attuned, self-sacrificial, and unerringly competent. These societal expectations can fuel the overthinking process, creating an intense pressure to meet idealized standards of behavior, appearance, and success. The result is a constant mental juggling act where every decision, no matter how small, is scrutinized for fear of falling short. The physical toll of overthinking is just as significant as the mental. Sleepless nights, tension, headaches, digestive issues, and a general sense of fatigue often accompany the relentless mental activity. The constant stream of thoughts keeps the mind in a state of high alert, unable to relax or disconnect. This perpetual state of stress not only affects a woman's mental well-being, but also her physical health, creating a vicious cycle of overthinking that is difficult to break. Overthinking also isolates. When the mind is consumed by a labyrinth of possibilities, it becomes harder to communicate clearly with others. There is a fear of being misunderstood or judged, and so a person may retreat further into their own thoughts rather than share them. This isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and frustration, further entrenching the burden of overthinking. In many ways, overthinking is an attempt to regain control over an uncontrollable world. It is the mind's response to the inherent uncertainty of life. But when it becomes a constant, overwhelming force, it shifts from being a useful strategy to a destructive pattern, limiting one's ability to act, think clearly, and live fully. It is in this overwhelming mental process that the burden of overthinking truly takes shape, entangling the mind in a web of endless reflection and doubt. The concepts of responsibility and control are central to the human experience, particularly for women who often feel a heightened sense of both in various aspects of life. The drive to manage, nurture, and guide those around them, whether family, friends, or colleagues, can create a deep sense of duty. However, these responsibilities, when coupled with the illusion of absolute control, can become overwhelming. It is crucial to differentiate between what one is truly responsible for and what is beyond one's influence, a distinction that has profound implications for mental well-being. Responsibility, in many ways, is woven into the fabric of womanhood. From an early age, women are often taught to care for others, to prioritize the needs of family and community, and to manage the demands of work, home, and relationships. This sense of duty is not inherently negative. In fact, it can be a source of pride and fulfillment. However, when the weight of these responsibilities becomes too heavy, when the individual believes they must shoulder every burden without fail, it can lead to exhaustion and resentment. The desire to do it all and do it perfectly is a deeply ingrained trait in many women. The expectation to excel in every role, to be the caregiver, the professional, the friend, and the partner, often leaves little room for self-care or personal boundaries. This relentless pursuit of perfection can quickly blur the lines between what is truly the individual's responsibility and what is an external expectation. The inability to distinguish between the two can lead to burnout, anxiety, and a diminished sense of self-worth. On the other hand, control is a concept that many people, particularly women, often conflate with responsibility. The notion that one must control every aspect of life, every situation, every outcome can become an obsession. In reality, control is a fleeting illusion. Life, by its nature, is unpredictable and chaotic. While it is possible to influence certain aspects of one's life, the idea that one can maintain control over all things is both unrealistic and damaging. Over time, the relentless pursuit of control can create anxiety, as the mind is preoccupied with an ever-expanding list of potential outcomes and actions. This desire for control often emerges from the fear of failure or the fear of letting others down. The pressure to be perfect, to meet external expectations, can make it feel as though everything must be controlled, everything must be predictable. This mindset can cause a woman to second-guess every decision, replay every conversation, and scrutinize every action, all in an effort to maintain control over her life and the lives of others. But in doing so, she may miss the larger picture, the realization that some things are simply beyond her control, and that is okay. Recognizing the limits of control is a crucial step in alleviating the mental strain that comes with overthinking. It is vital to accept that while one can influence certain outcomes through effort, planning, and intention, not everything is within reach. The natural ebb and flow of life, the unexpected turns and unforeseen events, are part of what makes existence dynamic and meaningful. The freedom comes not from trying to control everything, but from learning to let go of what cannot be controlled and focusing energy on what can be shaped. When responsibility and control are balanced properly, life becomes less about perfection and more about conscious, deliberate action. It becomes a matter of knowing where to invest one's time and energy and where to relinquish the need for control. Understanding that responsibility does not mean carrying every burden alone, and that control is a matter of influence, not domination, is liberating. It allows space for self-compassion, for taking breaks, for recognizing that personal well-being is not contingent upon managing every detail of life. It is a shift from the exhausting pursuit of control to the grounded awareness of what truly matters. Emotional awareness plays a pivotal role in how individuals navigate the complexities of life, and for women this role is especially pronounced. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings, but deeply informative signals that can guide decision-making, enhance relationships, and foster personal growth. However, the ability to harness the power of emotions rather than be overwhelmed by them requires a level of self-awareness that is often underappreciated. Many women, particularly those who tend to overthink, may find themselves swept up in the intensity of their emotions, unable to distinguish between productive reflection and unproductive rumination. Developing emotional awareness becomes a key tool in differentiating these states and maintaining balance in life. Emotional awareness is the ability to identify, understand, and manage one's emotions. It involves recognizing the emotions one is experiencing at any given moment, understanding where they stem from, and determining how those emotions affect thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. This awareness is not simply about naming an emotion like sadness, anger, or joy. It is about delving deeper into the underlying causes and understanding how they shape our experiences and responses to the world around us. For women, emotional awareness often carries with it the pressure of external expectations. In many cultures, women are socialized to be emotionally attuned to the needs of others, often putting their own feelings aside in favor of others' comfort. This tendency can sometimes result in a disconnect between internal emotions and outward behavior. It becomes easy to suppress feelings, dismiss emotional responses, or fail to recognize when one's emotional needs are being overlooked. When women do not take the time to connect with their own emotions, they risk making decisions based on external expectations or unexamined assumptions, rather than from a place of self-awareness and authenticity. Emotional awareness allows women to break this cycle. By tuning into their emotions, they can better understand the root causes of their feelings. For example, anxiety may stem from a deeper fear of failure or inadequacy, while anger might be a response to a boundary being crossed. Identifying these underlying emotions can prevent them from spiraling into harmful patterns like overthinking, where the mind becomes fixated on worst-case scenarios or what-ifs. Instead, emotional awareness allows for a more balanced approach to processing emotions. One can acknowledge and validate the emotion without being consumed by it. Emotional awareness enhances the ability to respond thoughtfully to others. It provides insight into how one's emotions might affect relationships and interactions. For women who are often expected to maintain harmonious environments, recognizing their emotional state can lead to healthier, more genuine connections. It allows for honest conversations and the ability to express needs or boundaries clearly rather than letting emotions fester or go unspoken. When emotions are understood and communicated effectively, they serve as a bridge rather than a barrier in relationships. Emotional awareness is not just about understanding negative emotions. It is equally important in embracing positive emotions like joy, excitement, or pride. Often women may downplay or dismiss positive emotional experiences due to societal pressures to be modest or self-critical. By becoming emotionally aware, women can recognize the value of these positive emotions, using them to fuel confidence, creativity, and motivation. Emotional awareness plays a significant role in emotional regulation. It is one thing to be aware of one's emotions, but it is another to manage them effectively. Developing this skill allows women to handle stress, frustration, or disappointment without resorting to destructive behaviors like overthinking or withdrawal. Instead of being reactive or overwhelmed, women can approach emotions with a sense of curiosity and calm, learning from them and channeling them in productive ways. Life is an ongoing negotiation between order and chaos, a delicate balance that requires both structure and adaptability to navigate effectively. For many women, especially those prone to overthinking, the challenge lies in managing the tension between these two forces. On one hand, the need for order provides a sense of control, security, and clarity. On the other, chaos is an inevitable part of the human experience, unpredictable, often disorienting, and yet, at times, the very source of growth, creativity, and transformation. Striking a balance between these opposing forces is essential for mental well-being and personal fulfillment. Order offers a foundation upon which individuals can build stability in their lives. It brings clarity, structure, and routine. For women who take on multiple roles and responsibilities, from family caretaker to professional, maintaining a sense of order becomes crucial for managing time, energy, and resources. Schedules, plans, and goals help prioritize tasks and ensure that obligations are met. Order can also provide emotional comfort, as knowing what to expect and when creates a sense of predictability in an otherwise chaotic world. The drive for order can become constricting when it turns into rigidity. In the quest for control, women may find themselves trapped in a never-ending cycle of planning and organizing, constantly striving for perfection and never feeling as though they've done enough. This pursuit of flawless order often leads to anxiety and frustration. It may prompt overthinking, as every decision is examined from every possible angle to avoid mistakes. The need for everything to be in its right place can stifle spontaneity, creativity, and the ability to adapt to life's inevitable uncertainties. In this scenario, order becomes a cage rather than a sanctuary, preventing growth and the discovery of new possibilities. On the flip side, chaos, the unpredictable, unstructured force of life, is often seen as something to avoid. Yet, chaos is also a necessary catalyst for transformation. It represents the unknown, the place where new ideas and opportunities emerge. Chaos can disrupt old patterns, force change, and encourage creativity. For women who are overthinkers, embracing chaos means letting go of the need to control every aspect of life, allowing space for uncertainty and spontaneity. When one is open to the unpredictable, they are more likely to take risks, explore new possibilities, and experience growth. Unchecked chaos can be overwhelming and destabilizing. Without a balance of order, chaos can feel like a storm that threatens to engulf everything in its path. It can lead to feelings of anxiety, confusion, and helplessness. For those who are used to planning and structuring their lives, allowing chaos to enter without a sense of control can be terrifying. The fear of losing direction, of being swept away by circumstances beyond one's control, can provoke a sense of vulnerability that is difficult to accept. Finding the balance between order and chaos is not about eliminating one in favor of the other, but about learning how to dance between the two. It requires an understanding that both forces have value. Order provides stability, but it must be flexible enough to accommodate the unforeseen. Chaos, while unsettling, can fuel creativity and growth, but it must be tempered with structure to avoid becoming overwhelming. The key lies in knowing when to lean into order and when to surrender to chaos, understanding that both are essential aspects of life's rhythm. This balance often means learning to prioritize what truly matters and letting go of the need to control everything. It means recognizing that some aspects of life can be planned and managed, while others must be left to unfold naturally. In embracing both order and chaos, women can cultivate a life that is both grounded and dynamic, structured yet flexible, a life where growth, creativity, and peace can coexist in harmony. Overthinking, when left unchecked, can become a paralyzing force, keeping the mind trapped in a constant loop of doubt, worry, and indecision. For many women, the tendency to overanalyze every decision, conversation, and action can be a deeply ingrained habit, often fueled by the pressure to meet expectations and avoid mistakes. However, it is possible to transform overthinking from a source of distress into a powerful tool for personal growth. The key lies in shifting the focus from the anxiety and uncertainty caused by overthinking to a more constructive, self-reflective approach that fosters learning, resilience, and empowerment. The first step in transforming overthinking into growth is recognizing its potential as a form of introspection. Overthinking often arises from a desire to understand, to explore every angle, and to find the best possible solution. While this can be exhausting and counterproductive if left unchecked, it is not inherently harmful. In fact, the act of deeply reflecting on a situation can lead to profound insights about oneself, others, and the world. The challenge lies in reframing overthinking as a tool for self-exploration rather than a source of anxiety. Instead of fixating on the fear of making the wrong decision, one can embrace the process of reflection as a way to gain clarity, identify values, and strengthen decision-making skills. The next step is to cultivate mindfulness, which helps break the cycle of endless rumination. Overthinking often pulls individuals into a state of constant mental chatter, where the mind races from one thought to the next without ever finding resolution. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or deep breathing exercises, encourage individuals to become more aware of their thoughts and emotions in the present moment. By cultivating mindfulness, women can learn to observe their overthinking without getting caught up in it. This detachment allows for a clearer, more balanced perspective, transforming overthinking from an obstacle into an opportunity for personal growth. With mindfulness, women can create space for more intentional thinking, directing their mental energy towards solutions rather than remaining trapped in the cycle of doubt. Another crucial element in transforming overthinking into growth is self-compassion. Often, overthinking stems from a deep fear of failure or judgment. The pressure to be perfect and make the right choices can lead to constant self-criticism and second-guessing. Self-compassion offers an antidote to this destructive pattern. Instead of berating oneself for overthinking or dwelling on mistakes, practicing self-compassion involves treating oneself with kindness and understanding. It is about recognizing that no one is infallible and that mistakes are part of the learning process. By embracing self-compassion, women can release the shame and guilt often associated with overthinking and use it as a stepping stone for growth. Rather than viewing overthinking as a flaw, they can see it as an opportunity to practice patience and kindness toward themselves as they navigate life's challenges. Overthinking can be transformed into growth by taking purposeful action. Overthinkers often become paralyzed by the sheer volume of thoughts and possibilities, unable to move forward. This paralysis, however, can be overcome by setting small, achievable goals that allow for incremental progress. Taking action, even if it is imperfect, shifts the focus from mental analysis to practical experience. By embracing the idea that progress is made through doing, women can reduce the power of overthinking and replace it with the confidence that comes from taking steps forward, no matter how small. In transforming overthinking into growth, the ultimate goal is to harness the power of reflection, mindfulness, self-compassion, and action. Rather than being a barrier to progress, overthinking can become a catalyst for greater self-awareness, personal development, and resilience. Through this transformation, women can learn to navigate the complexities of life with a clearer mind, a more compassionate heart, and a deeper sense of empowerment.